watch and burn.
Hey everyone, so tonight I want to talk about Desolation House's fourth release, or Hour 4, and that is, and I apologize if I am pronouncing this wrong, but that is Troum's Sigqan, or Sigqan. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce it, but nonetheless, that's how I'm going to pronounce it because I've never heard anybody say either of those names before, so if I pronounced it wrong, I apologize. But anyways, this, like I said, this was the fourth release from Relapse's sublabel Desolation House that was released back in the early 2000s. These tracks are incredibly long, and there's only a few of them on here. But, I don't know, this would be, I mean, maybe it's a bit of a stretch to call it beautiful, but the word beautiful does come to mind. I do find this to be incredibly melodic and hypnotic. And although, like I said, the pretty much every song's 20 minutes long, I didn't feel the length. I found that this flowed really well. There's a real pulsing sense of purpose, and it swells in and swells out, and everything is kind of like right where it should be. I suppose some people would argue that it gets a little repetitive, but once you let yourself kind of fall into the groove of what they're going for, you find yourself getting completely lost and immersed in the experience that Troum, again, I do apologize if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but that they're creating for the listener. And yeah, I mean, like I said, this album, it has so much depth again, and there's so much purpose behind each of these releases. Even the third hour, which was brainstorming, and I didn't love that, I still respect it, and I still get what they were going for, and maybe it was just lost on me because a lot of people dig noise, but I just didn't straight up like that record. Whereas with this, I found this to be very warm and very almost inviting, I suppose. It's I suppose some people too would argue this is a great thing to fall asleep to, but I find that personally kind of offensive. I know a lot of people have said that about Philip Glass's stuff too. Hey, they put on his stuff because it's like repetitive chamber music and they're asleep after 5 minutes. I think that's incredibly rude. I find Glass's stuff to be exciting and motivating and really like it invigorating, you know, where it gets you up and it gets you moving, and the sense of repetition only further serves to drive the music that much more purposefully, you know? And the same thing here, whereas the swells kind of come in and out like a slow heartbeat over the course of a handful of 20-minute tracks. I didn't find it boring, I didn't find it slow, and I definitely wouldn't use this to fall asleep, you know? It has too much, it's bringing too much to the table to use it as a sleep aid, basically. Yeah. I don't want to get that. I don't want to keep these going too long because these are difficult records to discuss. I did really find an honest sense of beauty here, and I did feel too that the label was back on track after sort of derailing somewhat with the first of a handful of noise releases, and that being brainstorming for Hour 3. They're back with the more innovative sense of very meaningful dark ambient with Troum's Sigqan, or Sigqan. I don't know how to pronounce it again. That's the second or third time I've probably fucked that up. But it felt like Desolation House was back at it, and they wouldn't lose it for the next handful of releases until they went back to releasing the noise-based things with Japanese Torture Comedy Hour and Rise of Because's Punishment Room. I just don't like noise. But Troum, they really did something unique here. And as I understand it, I think it was track 3 was recorded live in the studio with no overdubs. I think it was track 3 at least, and if it wasn't, I'm sure the text has come up and has corrected me. But yeah, so look, I'm going to go. So thank you so much for sitting with me for a few minutes here while I discussed Troum's Desolation House release, Hour 4. I'm not going to bother saying the name because I'm just going to get it wrong. Thank you so much for sitting with me here. I really appreciate it. Don't forget, if you like the video, do something nice for somebody because it's a wicked thing to do. And don't forget to like and subscribe because it helps push these videos. Or don't like and subscribe. Either way, I just appreciate you hanging out with me. I'm going to go. So have a good night. I just wanted to say thank you for making it through the entire video. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to remind everyone one more time, even though I've probably already done this in the video that you just watched, to please click the like button as well as the subscribe button because it helps this channel grow. And thank you for hitting like and subscribe, and we will see you guys really soon.